Up guys, today we are here for a new episode of Faction Tips, and today we're going to be focusing on walls. I've been seeing a lot of questions and complaints about not being able to find walls or what type of walls to build, and I think this is just a rough, design that you should use for when building your walls, or like something, like a guide, kind of, to go off of when you're designing your base. So I'm going to start off with going this way. So our first wall would be, well, this inside right here would be our base, and then you'd have another cobble wall or whatever. But our first wall, and this is assuming you have either a ground to sky base or bedrock to ground, or bedrock to whatever base. Most of your stuff is at bedrock. If it was a sky base, don't worry about this. This isn't worth your time. So basically what it is, it's a gravel wall. Here, let's just turn on my brightness so you can see this a bit better. It's a gravel wall with cobble in between. So when the TNT does explode, it'll drop this down. This will come down, but it'll do less damage to these sections here, and it won't widen up a huge hole. You could also just do a plain gravel wall, and you'd want to have those later on in your defenses. This is just one of your first defenses that I'd have. It does take a bit of time to build, depending on the height of it, but it is definitely a helpful wall. So our next wall is just the regular cobble walls, and you would have your trenches going down to bedrock with slabs at the very bottom. Okay, so then you have your cobble walls. I have them before this, before this wall I'd have at least one cobble wall. That's what I like to do personally. And these are called filter walls. They're a bit interesting in the fact that they actually have holes in them. What this forces a cannoner to do is build a fusion cannon. A fusion cannon is a very powerful cannon which, when shot, can travel through a one wide hole. Now, what the person has to do, what they could do, there's two options that the cannoner could do, two things that a cannoner could do. He could hit, because if you're to shoot at just a normal piece of sand and TNT, your sand will fall here and TNT will fly over, or vice versa. Now, as a cannoner, you would have to go and either stack up right here, and then fusion cannon a piece of sand and TNT right onto here, this block, and then blow that up. Or you could stack up sand up to here and land a piece of sand and TNT, which is very hard either way. Because you need to build a fusion cannon, which uses a lot of TNT and makes the cannoning a bit more complex. So this is something that is very helpful, and if you have multiple layers of this, it stops people from just shooting right through it. And if it's staggered like this, see how it's like a X shape between here, 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 like right here, this is an X. That's what you want to have. And just multiple of those, so they're like staggered, so they don't just, like, if you were to just have it like this, they could just shoot right through it with the fusion, and it'd be much easier to do than if there was this block here. So those are very helpful, and I'll go into a wall which is much like this. I don't have it set up just yet, but I'll set it up and I'll come back to you once that's done. But I'm going to first show you the 45s, or cuts. I've heard many questions about what this really is, name of it, or just asking what is a cut or a 45 wall, or 45 degree angle wall. People can just call it 45s or cuts. This is, well, what I've been talking about. What it does is it's harder to hybrid cannon it, and it forces you to fusion cannon, landing sand here until there's this one block area. I think I'm going to show you what happens. And because this is end stone, It has a higher blast resistance than cobblestone, and if you have enough endstone, I would do this I'd replace all this cobblestone with endstone. Some of you may ask, what do you mean by a higher blast resistance? Well, when the TNT is fired at it, at a normal piece of cobblestone or stone, it will break a 3 by 3 by 3 area. But because it's in water, it's just gonna blow up a 3 by 3. With this, we gotta break this block here for a second. With this block, it blows up a much smaller area, as you will see in a second. Now, if it had been a cobblestone cut, it would be a larger hole, and it would have been much easier for the cannoner to blow through. So then, if you have only a certain amount of stuff in this little section of this hole, that's perfectly fine with the cannoner. But if you have your stuff spread out wide throughout your base, they're gonna have to go, and they're gonna have to stack it up again, up to here. Get another TNT fusion up into here, and if they don't stack this correctly, if they accidentally, like if for some reason they can't get the sand to land on here, then it's gonna fall down here, and they're gonna have to start stacking this up again continuously. And then if they can't get it back onto here, it's just gonna continue out this line of sand, forcing the cannoner to eventually just move the entire cannon in general. So let's just break that sand pillar down, and then I'll show you again. Just put that there. Ooh, there you go. And then you have this larger area that's been cut out. And then the cannoner has all this room to shoot through. Now, on servers like Gontroller, Battle PvP, and Dig Honor, do not, for any reason, use Obsidian for your cuts. I've seen this happen on a multitude of servers. Oh, also Icewind. I go on, I find a base, they have 45s, but they're Obsidian. Now, Obsidian with Obsidian Destroyer, it does not matter if it is covered in water. Without any hybrid shot, you can shoot right, you can blow it up. And what I had happen with a base once was they had a cobblestone layer of 45s covered in water, and an obsidian layer not covered in water. We shot right through the cobblestone layer, right through the obsidian layer. Oh, sorry, there's the other way around. The obsidian layer at the bottom was covered with water, but the cobblestone layer wasn't. So we shot right through the cobblestone and then just scattered the obsidian, opening up a hole, shooting right into the base. Now, you have to keep this bottom part covered in water, otherwise you just scatter and you're right through. And that uses much less TNT than it would if you were to have water on it. So, number one priority with 45 Pancake Walls, water on the bottom. It may take forever to do it, but trust me, it is worthwhile. So I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to set up the next defense, which also involves the 45 Pancake Walls, and they can also go by themselves. You guys might know it as the Pancake Walls, or there's a ton of other names for it. So I'll see you once that's done. So be right back. Alright guys, so I'm back, and sorry about that, I've got a bit of cold coming on. So this is the second example, and well, this is the example of Pancake Walls. I'm just gonna start off with this over here, and basically it works the exact same way that filters do, except they are longer and can be expanded into very large sections. Sorry, I got hiccups. Jesus. You can put as many of these as you want, but just for time's sake, decided to only make 2 of them and make them 3 what? Jeez, sorry about that. Yeah, it works exactly the same that filters do, and you just gotta fusion cannon right through them. These were actually displayed to the faction community by Wise and Fun Fox. I'll put the link down to the videos of these walls, and he has a great explanation of them, and it's a pretty cool design. Here we have them on the 45-degree angle wall, and they work about the exact same way as they do over there, except you still have like this little airspace. And if you have filters right after this, you're gonna want them to interlock. See, if you were to push this block over here, they would fit together like a gear, and this stops people from just shooting right through and hitting this, so they'd have to break this block first before shooting sand and stacking up. And you just have these going up every block, and making sure that there was water still flowing down the 45. You would also want it to flow with the height of the cuts or 45s or whatever you want to call them. So I think that's about it for now. And I say, if you were to have just this on your base and you had a 1x1 base, sorry about that, you'd be pretty fair off, and I think you would last quite a while on most faction servers if you're even just a one-man faction. So thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more videos. I think that's all for now. Bye bye.